bounces back in a 55-35 win against Trine. A much-needed win, a confidence booster as well, especially coming off of the game against Elma. And this game was truly close for a lot of it. Now, every time that Trine got a little bit closer, you had Hope respond. It never truly felt like it was going to be a game that Hope ended up losing, but if you want to look at statistically and you want to look at just what this team has done this year, in 4 of the 5 games that Hope has played, the only game this has not happened in was their first game against Loras College when they were able to shut them out. Hope has gone down 7-0 to the other team in 4 of the 5 games. Like, this team falls behind early. Now, obviously, for a lot of this season, it truly hasn't hurt them. This team has responded every single time it's happened. But that's something to continue to keep an eye on for, because when you're going to be playing these better teams, it's not easy to come back in a game. And defensively, while they were better, especially after that happened, they still gave up 35 points. Now, again, some of those points were later on in the game, but like offensively, though, Hope was fantastic in this game. Alex Stoll, 318 yards, 4 touchdowns on this game. He's just been really, really good for this Hope offense this year. This offense, while it is balanced, they just seem to really like doing it through the air, which is a little unusual for Hope. Hope seems to be a team that primarily wants to focus on the run, kind of use the run to set up the pass. And while they have been able to do that this year, Alex Stoll, when he's been on, this team throws for more yards than they run. Now, obviously, in this game, Hope ended up running for 287 yards. So if you look at just kind of the balance that this team had offensively, 326 to 287, that's a really good balanced attack. And that's going to be something I think Hope's going to continue to do, is try to have that balanced attack, maybe have obviously more yards through the air, because you have a talented wide receiver. Johnny Rohan Blaine continues to be their go-to guy at the wide receiver one. 7 receptions, 117 yards, 1 touchdown. Travis Myers is getting involved a little bit more. I really like seeing that. I thought last year he was really good. I definitely would like to see him more involved this year as well. Trevor Griffiths had 2 receptions, 42 yards, 1 touchdown, and then Caden DeHorn was the last wide receiver to score a touchdown, a 31-yard touchdown in this game as well. This team just has a ton of weapons. It's going to be primarily through the wide receiver room. They have had a little bit of involvement at the tight end, a little bit out of the running back room, but the running back room is mainly going to be focused on guys like Kyle Meyer, who was great running with the ball today, averaging 14.7 yards per carry, 103 yards. Every time he touches the ball, especially in this game, Kyle truly makes a difference. It's really that 1-2 kind of punch from Cal and AJ Martell. AJ obviously didn't have as an effective day. He had 69 yards on the day, 2 touchdowns. Trey Goki as well is someone that I'm going to continue to keep an eye on in this offense. You just continue to see him getting more and more carries. He actually had the most rushing attempts out of everyone. 15 attempts for 92 yards, 1 touchdown. 4 touchdowns on the ground, 4 touchdowns through the air. Perfect way of doing that. You love to see 4 and 4. Obviously, that's going to put up a ton of points there. But offensively, I thought Hope was able to do what they needed to do. I think this Hope offense is going to continue to cause teams issues. They have all year. And this offense was really, really tough to stop for Trine. Now, let's go on Trine's side of things, because I thought Trine at times performed really well. You have RJ West, 4 touchdowns, 230 yards. Wasn't extremely accurate, 23 for 40, so not the best there. But he was able to put up yardage on this Hope secondary. You look at running the ball, Trine was able to run it a little bit more than teams have been in the past, 152 yards. You have Courtvion Barnett. You have Salim Felder. You have RJ West, the quarterback, ran for 55 yards. Like, you have guys that were able to run it, but truly was this Hope secondary that teams continue to attack. And that's the thing with defenses, is it's so hard to stop a passing offense in today's day and age, just because of how many weapons a lot of these teams have, and just because of really that evolution of college football. Like, it's going to be a lot of through the air, and when you have that, you really want to have guys that can get to the pass rusher, and Liam Daniels was fantastic in this game. 9 tackles, 2 sacks. He's a guy that continues to get pressure on the other quarterback. You also have Caleb Paulberg, 1 sack, 1.5 tackles for loss. Bryce Debris continues to be involved. He had a forced fumble in this one. He also had a tackle for loss. You had a couple other forced fumbles. Austin Harvey, Caleb Paulberg, I mentioned him earlier. You have Colton Schreier, 10 tackles on the day. Tyson Mann at the safety continues to be one of the most involved tacklers on this team. And then you really have to talk about the big men, right? Like, you have a guy in Tate Bezu. Sorry, I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that name this time. He has 6 tackles. Owen Graham getting involved at the linebacker spot. Trenton Bullhouse being in the secondary a little bit. You just have guys that have made plays on this defense. And I think this Hope defense, while it is giving up more yardage than maybe they were last year and more points, I still feel like this Hope defense is good enough and is going to continue to be good enough, continue to make plays. They have guys on this Hope defense that I truly think will cause team issues. And again, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of these points for Trine kind of came in the second half. It was a 90-yard kick return to get it to 35. It should have probably been 55-28. That was with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left to go. But it truly was that second half that Hope really kind of took over a little bit. It was back-to-back touchdown runs from A.J. Martell, Trey Goki, and A.J. Martell in basically a 6-minute window where it truly gave Hope the cushion that they needed, because with 1 minute and 11 seconds left, it was a 7-point game. Like, there's a real possibility that this could have been close. I think this Hope team realized that they didn't want it to be close, and they truly just took over through the run game, just continued to not only strike fast, especially with the A.J. Martell last touchdown, but when they needed to have sustained drives, they were able to do it, especially through the ground, through the air. And yeah, big win for Hope. Really needed that bounce back win. Glad that they got it. Now they're going on a bye. They have time to get healthy. They have time to prepare for Kalamazoo, to prepare for the rest of the year. Definitely think the coaching staff's going to do that. They're going to try to figure things out. And I think this Hope team is, again, really, really talented. They are a top 20, 25 team in the country. I think they'll continue to be that way. Obviously, they have guys coming up and teams coming up that they'll have to keep an eye on. I think Adrian's going to continue to be one of those teams that they're going to have to keep an eye on for. That's right after Kalamazoo. But that will be really kind of it for this episode. After Adrian, if Hope can stay with 1 loss on conference play, there's a real chance that this team could make playoffs, and I think that's the goal going into this season, was making playoffs. This team is good enough to make playoffs, and you saw in this game against Trine when they're going offensively, this team's going to be really tough to beat. So, yeah, my thoughts on the game overall. Let me know if you liked it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment. Definitely going to continue to keep an eye on for that stat that they've allowed a touchdown first in 4 of the last 5 games. I think that's going to be something that the coaching staff would probably know or focus on. Maybe it's just the way that they approach it. You'd like to see that they fix those things, but you never know. So definitely going to keep that going, and definitely going to talk more about Hope in the future.